I need you to give me share access.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
That's okay. I'm not offended.
You should be. You should be. Okay. All participants can share. You should be able to share now, hopefully.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So, thanks for joining and apologies to everyone where I messed up the time starting this meeting at 2 when I said it would be at 2:30. But the purpose for this meeting was, well, first, a little bit of history. So we had a policies and procedures team that started meeting in late 2023, I believe, because, and I think this was driven by you, Dick, and Sunny, right? In late 2023, we were going through all the appendices and trying to bring everything up to date at that time.
Yeah, really, it started, I guess, during Sonny's year um, as governor. And I don't remember if that was 23 or I think it was earlier. But the the problem was our bylaws were getting out to 40 and 50 pages. And to change something in the bylaws, you had to go through a specific process.
Right.
And so the idea was to glean out of the bylaws those issues that did not require that kind of deliberation to get approved
Got it.
or to become policy. So we created the policy and procedures, and it more than cut the bylaws in half, and those are in effect. And then because of time constraints and the amount of work that was involved, um, we did not get the appendices included in the original version. So
So that's where I come in.
that's
You created a team, you invited a number of us to get together to go through the appendices, and I kind of acted as the secretary a little bit for that group. Like kept all the documents in a folder on Google Drive. We had all these different appendices, both for policies and procedures and for youth protection. And that team in 2024 went through each of those appendices and brought them up to date. And then we provided a link to the whole membership. Um, I think it was for 2024's district conference, and we voted on those changes that we made. So everybody had access to the folder, they could see all the appendices, and we voted, and those became the most up-to-date versions. So then what happened was we were trying to get them on Rotary5520.org, and that would involve two things. One, consolidating all those separate appendix documents into one big document, and then also, well, three things. Then also finding a place, finding a home for them on 5520. And then also we talked about the fact that the emergency points of contact in every set of documents should not be buried in the documents. It should be a standalone website that could be linked to the documents, and then we could keep those emergency contacts evergreen as a separate web page. So those were kind of the three pending actions, and they kind of went around in circles for a little while and never fully got completed. And so then Jeff came in, and he's been pulling all those appendices into one document, and that's what he's got up on the screen is all that work we did in one place, combined as much as he can. And he had some questions. And then we needed to talk about as a team where we should put this and where the emergency points of contact should live. So sorry for all that background, but it's a lot of work that led up to this meeting. So this is the purpose of
well,
the meeting.
and the other point that I think we need to stress is that we also agreed that there were documents included that um, we did not have the knowledge to edit as a policy and procedure manual, like the youth protection policies and the RILA policies and the youth exchange. The youth exchange and what might be the RILA policies when they come out, and
Exactly.
the crisis management procedures.
And that's why I invited Aaron was for the RILA documents that don't yet exist and Bianca for the youth exchange documents. And I think you're kind of representing some of the youth protection still, right, Dick?
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
doing youth
Yeah.
protection. Yeah.
So but that's why those other folks were included. And then I screwed up the time and they were not able to join at this time. But we'll go ahead and get started in terms of what Jeff has done to maybe consolidate the documents. We can look at that, see what questions you have, Jeff,
Sure.
and then talk about locations.
So, as Dick, as you were talking, I brought over the 5520 website because there are two documents that I was able to update that are in the youth protection area, which we linked to. And that was part of the notion that in the appendices, there would be certain documents we would link to. So, if this was done correctly, Youth Protection Overview is the updated version that you sent me. And I will click and open it so you can all take a look at it. It's called Updated in the File, but it's not, the link doesn't say it, but it is the updated Youth Protection Overview, and it looks like this. So this is the document that comes up when you click on that link. And I think it's got, yeah. So I updated contacts here, but I do want to make sure that they are correct.
Okay, now when you click on that link,
Yes. This one here.
when you click on that link, it goes directly to that page.
It opens a file. So it's not another web page. It opens a document.
Okay, can you click on it again?
So if I click on it, it's going to go to like download a file, and it brings up this little thing here, and then you click and open a file.
I do not think that that's a good idea, because if you've got a student that has just been assaulted, you don't want to have to download a file. You want to click it, and you want that information there immediately.
Okay, so this document that we're looking at that says Youth Protection Overview is the file that was in that box folder. Do you not want to use this?
No. We should use that, but we need to make those contacts open up immediately. If you go back to the web page, okay, and make your pop-up go away. Okay, if you go to resources and click your strategic planning and innovation, I was looking at it earlier and I thought that when you clicked that, it would immediately open. Okay, maybe what it is, click your link to the strategic planning and innovation.
It just brings up the same page. It doesn't.
Okay, go down one.
This one here?
Yeah, go to that. See, that brings up your document in a loaded form, and you don't have to download the file to open it.
So so what we can do, and Jen, again, if you can please take notes. So this is a PDF file.
Okay.
So the PDF file, it just opens. So what we can do is if I can go back, if I take this document here, youth protection overview, that's
Right.
basically this, I can make that a PDF file and it should open right away
It
without
should be a
downloading.
well, okay. Yeah.
So yeah. So if that would work, this document can be a PDF file and it would
But
just open like that other one did.
but I don't think that's what we want. So I think because the whole idea was like, when you scroll down to those phone numbers, we don't want it to be a document. We want it to be a web page. Like if you go back to 5520. So just a page like this with the contacts on it.
Okay, so we would need to design and create that as a subpage.
That's what I was thinking, Dick. It would be a page like this that we put the link in our appendices or any documents where emergency
Well,
contacts.
what we should do because the policy and procedure, I think part of it gets back to how we're going to have those um, displayed on the website. If you go to um, okay, if you go to administration and then I guess district administration, then you can get to the policy and procedures in a
Right.
PDF. Okay,
Correct.
that is too much to expect a person in a crisis mode to do. So those need to be web pages under programs. So you should go to youth programs. If you'll click on that, and this is all the way I see it. No, go up here to your top menu right here. Yeah, go to that. Okay. When you open that, the first thing that you should see up there is emergency or contact information for youth programs, or however you're going to display it
Okay.
or title it. But the first thing you should click youth programs, and then the first top of the list should be your contact information. So if I'm
Nick, we spent a lot of time with Aaron's people, all of that group to train them that RILA is first under youth programs.
well, it shouldn't be. They are not the most important. I mean, in a crisis situation, they need to be able to get to
What we
Aaron.
used to have is a totally separate heading menu group, and it was called youth protection or something like that, wasn't it, Dick?
Yeah. And if we did that, that
Then
would
we
be
could leave it
fine.
alone. Yeah.
If we had between foundation and youth programs, we had youth protection. And then once you click that, the drop down options would be the emergency contact numbers and then the youth protection documents.
Could we change this title to youth programs and youth protection and then just have youth protection be the first item in the drop down?
That's what I was saying. We have trained the entire district on the fact that RILA's first. You know how these old people are, Jeff.
Well, no, it would be a little bit easier to not add another tab. But if it makes sense to have youth protection standalone, then it should be its own tab.
Well, I mean, I think we need to acknowledge the fact that in a crisis situation, people are not going to be thinking logically and they're going to be panicking. So if we had something that said youth protection, maybe we put crisis management youth protection and crisis management together and put everything in that one, then they click on it and those pages pop up.
And it would be a separate tab in that
It
case.
would be a separate tab up there between
Yeah.
foundation and youth
Yep.
protection
Yep.
that would say, or youth programs that would say youth protection and crisis management.
Okay.
Because now youth protection is under the resource tab
Right.
and crisis management. I just went through everything this afternoon, but I can't remember where it is. But crisis management is stuck somewhere else.
Okay.
So the two things that should be together aren't.
Okay. So youth protection overview will not be a file, it'll be a page, and it will be a page in this new tab that we're going to create.
Correct.
What about the contents of this first? So this page would be on the web page with contacts and, click here for email or whatever. What about this? What about this up here? Does this need to be anywhere?
That needs to be, that's kind of the introduction to the rest of the document. But
Right.
so we could take the contact information out, put it as the first tab, and then you could have youth protection overview.
Got
up
it.
there.
Okay.
Yep.
Does that make sense, Jen?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay. The other document that I updated is the youth protection policies. So again, if you click on it, it's going to download a file because it's a Word file. And there it is. And it's got a 1 in front of it. That tells me that it should be the new version. It's huge. And it's this. So this is, I believe, the most updated version. And by the way, I noticed that there was not a date in the footer. We can add one. But I believe that this is the updated version of the policy. And there's no contact info. So that is the other thing that I added directly to the website.
Okay.
And again, and if we want to make it a PDF, then it will show up. It won't be a download. It'll just show up as a, in your browser. And then we can
believe, let me look here real quick.
Jeff, do you mind while Dick's looking, do you mind scrolling to the very bottom of this document?
Sure.
Okay. Because I remember as a team, one of the things that we changed was the terminology and the statement of conduct for working with youth. So I just wanted to make sure this was the latest one because I wasn't sure if what we worked on was loaded to the website.
Is it correct?
It matches. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I can't find it right now, but those documents were, I think at one point, PDF files that were posted on the web.
Okay, so we can make this a PDF. And should we add a date in the footer?
We can add a date to the footer, yeah.
Okay, so we can do that. So those are the two files that while I've been working on this, I added to the website directly. Everything else is just added appendices to the main policies and procedures document.
Okay, so you took the text of the appendices and put them down at the bottom.
Let me show you. Where is it? Oh, it's the here. So this is the policies and procedures document that we started with. And
Okay.
based on your input, Dick, we took youth protection policy and manual and made them hyperlinks. Now we're going to change we may change one of them to hyperlink to a website. Or no, they both hyperlink to websites. So right now, if you click on youth protection policy, it opens the updated policy from district website.
Right.
If you click on youth exchange manual, that goes to the website.
Okay.
This. And so those are hyperlinked now in the policies and procedures document.
Okay.
This version may not be on the internet yet. We're just still working on it, but yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Jeff, just for your information, I never put Word documents on the website at all because not everybody has Word.
Okay.
And then
Well,
they
we're gonna,
don't know how to open them.
Okay, but we're going to make these PDFs,
Yeah,
so
so
we should
that's
be good.
fine.
Okay.
And believe it or
So,
not, they don't have Adobe either sometimes.
but it should, yeah, well, so everything else that we had discussed would, in all likelihood, be add-ons to the document, not links to other things. So unless you tell us differently, Dick, only these two are links.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So, and here's Appendix 2, which is the crisis communication management policy. And if I remember correctly, it's in the document.
Okay.
So
let's talk about that. That is another critical time issue. Should that be treated like the youth protection policy?
it makes sense, especially if that new drop down is going to be youth protection and crisis management. Then it kind of makes it even more likely to have that right there.
Yeah. Okay.
And link to it. So this would then also become a link, Appendix
Right.
2.
And
Okay.
so those we're going to be able to access those documents through two different hyperlinks. One in the policy and procedures and one in the youth protection and crisis management tab on the header.
And the issue I see with that is next year, what will happen is you'll change just one of them and you'll say, go change this on the website, and your person will change it on the website, and then that link is broken.
If they do it right, hopefully they wouldn't break the link. If they replace the current one with the new one and do it through the, Club Runner process, it should maintain the link. We can verify that, but if we use the tools, it should keep the link.
Yeah, I usually put the date on it, so I know I mine break.
Yeah.
So Appendix 2 will make a link. So right now, so I'm going to scroll. So here are all those job descriptions. So we added those. We do not have a district governor nominee job description yet, so that one's to be developed.
That's kind of on the website already.
Well, we don't have a document for it. So all I did is I took the documents that were in that share drive.
Go to the front page. I just changed all that.
What? I'm sorry?
Go to the home page. I just changed all that.
What homepage?
5520. So under administration, district governor nomination, Yasser and I worked on that, and that's got what he wanted for his information is all there.
But yeah,
Other
but I don't
times.
think it's a job description of the nominee like we have for the governor and elect. I think it's more like the forms
Okay,
and all of that,
okay.
correct?
So those documents won't be somewhere else. They'll be right there, right?
Uh, if
They're
I
not going to be
understand your,
included somewhere
but
else.
if I understand your question,
But Yasser should not be changing
It
the
had
job
dates on it.
description. What's that?
Yeah, it's not really, it's application and stuff, but it had dates on it. That's mainly what I took
yeah,
off.
but this
Okay.
is what we don't have is this a job description for the nominee that wouldn't be in Yasser's files.
Okay.
And
So
just a quick pause. Bianca has joined us. So, Bianca, I'm really sorry for screwing up the time. And basically, the scope of this meeting is just determining where on 5520 we want to put policies and procedures documents, youth protection, and also Rotary Youth Exchange and RILA when the RILA documents exist. And then we were also talking about a page for emergency contacts that might be referenced by all those policies. So right now, Jeff is just going through where certain things are right now. Hopefully that brings you up to speed.
Oh,
while Bianca's on, do we need to go back to anything youth exchange related?
Well, let's finish up on the governor nominee, and then we can go
Okay.
back
So we need
because
to okay.
we need to have a description of what is expected of the nominee
Right.
in the job description, and
Right.
that is that and the the process is all defined in the bylaws and in the policy and procedure. So that's nothing that Yasser or anyone should be.
I think it overlaps a little bit because I do remember reading that it tells you you have to be prepared to go to some of those meetings, etc.
And
Well,
and that's fine, but the fact that who all serves on the committee and all of that is covered the
Bylaws should
in the
be.
bylaws and in the policy and procedure.
and you
Yeah.
could make the argument that the language that's in the Yasser stuff would be for like if there was a job description for the designate. Like if you're going to accept this position, here's what is expected of you like right away. And then when it becomes more formalized, when the person becomes a nominee, we just don't have a description for that, at least here.
Well, but we do say that once you are chosen, the bylaws say that once you are chosen, you will start removing yourself from other district positions.
Right.
And that is in the bylaws and policy and procedures. And I'm using those terms in conjunction because without going back and seeing what we split out, it's hard to say, but they're in governing documents that need to go through a procedure to have them changed.
Okay. Just for right now, like today, there is not a district governor nominee page in here. It was to be developed. So we can develop it now, whatever you all want to do. But right now, there's no DGN job description. But we can certainly add it. Then we've got the lieutenant governor. And then we have the assistant governor. And then we have the committee chairs. And then we have the foundation committee chair as a standalone job description.
What's foundation committee chair?
That's Dick.
Oh, okay. Dick's committee.
Yeah. And then we have the district treasurer guide. So this was the file, Jen, that had the weird file thing, and we fixed it. So this is that for the treasurer. Mm-hmm. And then we have the bookkeeper. the secretary, the learning facilitator, not in bold because you're a humble person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay,
I think
that
it
was
should be bold, all caps, and about 20
Yeah.
points.
With
Okay,
all
so
she's
those
doing,
are
I would think so.
okay. That was
All
all
those headings
appendix.
are different as you're scrolling through anyway.
They were all right. I didn't make any changes to the documents themselves. I just Adobe'd and added them, but we can clean that up if we feel we need to. That was all Appendix 1 because Appendix 1 were job descriptions. Okay, here's Appendix 2. So this is the one that you're thinking would be taken out and put in that other tab that we're going to create for crisis management and youth protection.
Yep.
Okay, but so right now it's here. Appendix 2, crisis management. That's a few pages. There are points of contact. And Dick, I'd asked you, we need to update media representatives if we don't know who they are. And it might just be like to be determined, but we didn't know how to do that.
Yeah, that should be that page needs to be updated, but
Okay.
with our media contacts, we need to reach out to Twyla and we need to remove Dave because he is relocated to Dallas.
Okay. So this needs to be updated, and it could be another separate page, like we're thinking of doing with the others too, if that would be easier rather than in the
A separate
document.
web page. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of the document, at least right now. And again, this is the version that there's so many different versions. I may have even a later one than this, but if we go back to the list, and I'm sorry for scrolling. Okay. So that was Appendix 2. 3 and 4 are going to be hyperlinks.
Right.
5, we have that document that's the clubs by geographic area, and we can add that as another, as an extension to this document. But it's really up to you what you want to do with that. We've got it.
I think you would take that out because it's somewhere else and it's automated. It automatically updates when we remove a club, the other place. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's going to be old in no time.
Works for me. I just didn't know what you all wanted to do with that because it was in the table of contents.
It is.
And you don't have the document there, though.
I have it. I just didn't add it yet because we hadn't clarified some of these other things. But I do have it. It's in that document.
Okay, but
directory. The general.
Donette,
Yeah.
the
You know what,
automated.
I may rescind that statement because if you've got what you consider north, south, all that, if that's what you're talking about, then you can leave it in there because it's not anywhere else. But if you're talking about the clubs that are active and where they are geographically or whatever you want to call it on the map, then we already have that.
Well, yeah, and I think what it is that the by geographic area is more an assignment of who the lieutenant governors are for those specific areas.
Okay. You know what? I wish Club Runner would have listened to me. I've been for 5 years begging for a report that shows that very information. You can't get a report that says, here are the assistant governors. Here are the assistant governors. Here are the clubs that they are attached to. There is no such thing.
Huh.
I have to do it manually.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense.
So
It
again,
doesn't make
Appendix
sense.
5, we just need to, do we leave it? Do we drop it? Then these last two, when you and I chatted about this, some of these were under development. They were not completed. The only thing that was the district governor nominating committee procedure. And again, that we have, but we didn't have the forms and we also did not have Appendix 7. So right now it just says under development.
Okay, District 7 or Appendix 7 is easy. That's under development. We have not figured out what we're going to do with that. Sonny and I have been working on it. We had originally started to address that when Harry got sick, and so it got put on hold. Sonny and I have scheduled an appointment for October 9th to visit the archives at NMSU and see what we have in storage and what records are being what records we have in storage down there. And then as part of that, to develop a list of document retention for the clubs so that they know how long they should keep their tax returns, how long they should keep their bookkeeping, their records. And so that is truly under development.
So would it be your suggestion that we hold off on doing these updates until that's been finished and we add it, or should we continue work, upload
No.
what we have, and then update it once you've got that finished?
I think we update it once we've got it, because I am just horrified at the thought of what we're going to find in that storage room at NMSU.
I'm not. I've heard what's in there. It's a bunch of
Well-
old junk you're going to put in the trash, I think.
I don't know.
I've been told that like there's a, because back then we all kept like our financial records and stuff like that, and nobody's added to that for so many years that they're way past gone.
Well, but some of it's archival, because Rick Akins, during his year, created that time capsule.
Yes,
And-
that's in there. Yeah.
And that is there. So something like that definitely needs to be hung on to.
Mhm.
And, yeah, I would agree that probably 90% of it needs to be chucked. But I think I think we need to be really careful in approaching that, because we're not sure exactly what is there. And one, we should not be storing club records. And two, we don't know what is critical.
Well, can we take that for the scope of today's meeting? That sounds like a separate project.
Well, I think we need to leave that line in there, but we don't have
Yeah.
to discuss it today. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
absolutely.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
Just
So
know that
that's-
we're working on it.
Yep.
so that's everything that we have right now. So it sounds like there's some updates to make to the web page, which is great. We've got some cleanup to do on the contact lists. So it seems like we know what the next steps are, but we'll update Bianca on that. Should we go to the youth exchange?
Before you
section?
move on from that, the
Sure.
next 20 pages are just the job descriptions that we've discussed.
And Appendix 2, which we're going to move.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Let me make sure.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
fine.
Cool. Okay. So for Bianca, it's good to. So I'm on two different computers here, so bear with me. So we made a couple of updates, which we're going to make more updates to, but we do have an updated overview and updated policies. What we discussed, correct me if I'm wrong, Dick, is setting up a new tab between foundation and youth programs that would be called Youth Protection and Crisis Management. And that would be like the urgent go to contact someone info. And it would not be under youth programs, and it would also not be under resources. It would have its own tab. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I've got.
So for resources right now, we have updated policies, and I'm gonna turn them into PDF files so they're not downloaded. But there's updated policies. There's an overview that we're going to turn into a web page that's going to be under this new tab with all the contact info. So right now it just opens up a file, this one, and it has contact info here, and we're going to move all of that to just a web page, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what did we need to show Bianca?
Well, we were just going to show Bianca under youth programs that youth exchange is the second tab, and that takes us to the youth exchange page.
Which I'm trying to get updated to be more fun.
Okay. Will it be the same link, Bianca?
Oh, sure, of course.
Okay. It also is accessible through the policies procedures document, right? Sorry for the scrolling. It is a lot of scrolling. Sorry, right here. Youth Exchange Manual. It goes to the same page.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Oh, so
it's hyperlinked.
it's not the 80-page manual. Yeah,
No.
okay. And that manual is not on that website either.
Right. So right now it just takes them here.
Okay, so maybe we should change that wording. Because if somebody's looking for, to me, a manual is, oh, I need instructions. How do I do this? This website that it takes us to doesn't have any of that.
Is the
So-
updated one that you're working on going to have a link to it?
It might. That would be a good idea.
So if we don't call, let me go back. So if we don't call this Youth Exchange Manual, because it's not a manual, what should we call it?
Web page.
Website. Yeah.
Just Youth Exchange website?
Mhm.
Something like that? Okay.
Mhm.
So we can do that. All right. But so it's accessible here, and it
Okay.
is accessible
From youth programs.
here.
Yes. Okay.
And again, if you update it and there's something that happens with the link, let us know so we can update.
Okay. Yeah, it's slow going. I finally found somebody and then it's like still not getting done.
I've worked with that thing. Is it the original one that Brianna did? Is that webpage the one she did?
Who's Brianna?
Oh,
I have no
okay.
idea.
No, that wasn't that's Ryla. Never mind.
Okay. No, this was set up before I started.
Yeah, it could be done on Club Runner.
Okay.
Well, are you in the middle of updating it, or are you still haven't started yet?
I haven't started.
Oh, okay.
I've talked to so many people and it's like, yeah, I can do that. And then I had one guy, he says, oh yeah, I can do that. And then he comes back to me and says, Well, I found this website where you can go and create a website, and I've found this place where you can go and create a website. And it's like, I don't want to do it. I have enough other things to do. I'm trying to find somebody to actually do the work.
You
And
might
find good
try
help these
Meredith.
days.
You might try Meredith. I did Ryla.
Okay. I mean, it would take me, I could figure it out. But I just don't see the need when we have, 2,000 Rotarians in the district. Why do I have to figure it out? So that's what I've been doing. I got to find somebody that can just do it. And I thought I had somebody, but now that's been 3 or 4 weeks and nothing has gone forward. So I'll remind them.
Okay, but in the meantime, we will change the language in the document to just say Youth Exchange website or something like that.
Okay.
Can I back up just a little bit? Dick, I want to tell you that when you're looking for stuff and worried about throwing away things, I have the original certificate of incorporation with the seal on it. So you're not looking for anything like that. And I have the tax ID number document that the internal service gave us. And I have the original constitution that we used. So those documents are in a little notebook. I don't know if you can see that.
It just obscures your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a brown notebook, but it's titled Incorporation Rotary International District 5520, and I will pass it on to my replacement.
Okay. And that definitely should not go in the archive.
Right. It needs to be handy for people to get.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do we have a district safety deposit box?
No, and banks have quit doing safety deposit box. They're all getting rid of them.
Okay. We need, because part of the policy and procedures says that we have offsite backup for all of our data files. And
That's a whole different thing. I do have offsite backup for my data files. So for instance, all of my files are on my computer, but they're also backed up to the cloud, and they're also backed up to a thumb drive. So I do have a couple of backups of my data files.
okay,
And when I turn it over things like my email address, she'll just take off on secretary5520.org or whoever, she, he, whatever. Does that make
and
sense?
I'm just thinking if in that whole process, that thumb drive and those documents shouldn't go into a metal storage file document that you could literally,
I
pick
think
up.
they're safer in the cloud. Do you, Jeff?
No. I'm not talking about the files. I'm talking about like the document of incorporation and that spare thumb drive that you have and that kind of thing. That any of those things that we feel need to be stored, that we need to physically hang on to.
Be careful, they're going to be in your garage.
Well, that's true.
Because we don't have a storage shed. We don't pay for storage sheds, and they are relatively expensive.
Well, and the Rotary Club of Santa Fe has been gracious enough to give me a few square feet in one of their storage spaces where I am transitioning much of what I have in my garage. Thank you, Aaron.
I noticed that Aaron is on. So if we have a couple minutes left, do we want to go through the Ryla stuff with her?
Or just get her input on what they're doing and what they would anticipate on the website.
Yeah, so and Aaron, you're on mute, by the way, if you want to.
Hey,
Still on mute. Let me just drop her a
Yeah,
message in the chat.
maybe she walked away for a minute.
If I can ask a question about document management,
Is that a gateway computer?
HP?
can
It looked like my
Is-
daughter said she wanted.
is there a how do you all feel about the document section of Club Runner to store documents like articles of incorporation or things like that? Is that document section,
It's a nightmare.
is
It's
it
a
just
night-
that it's not user friendly?
No, it's not that. It's that you start dumping stuff in it and nobody ever cleans it up. And so then it gets to be quite messy. But this is also an embossed what do you call it? Seal of New Mexico has to be on it. You can't use it from that if you needed the original one.
Yeah, so those things that Don Ed has really need to remain as physical items that,
Got it.
and you know, at some point that probably ought to be documented in the policy and procedures.
Agreed. And as much as we can, like we can't do that one, but as much as possible, if we're comfortable with how we're storing documents, we should scan things that do not have to be hard copied and have them in whatever area we're using for
Jeff,
kind of
I
permanent
have
storage.
very little hard copy documents. I just don't do that. I have all of my stuff in, this is kind of a whole nother subject, but I have all of my stuff in year breakdowns under Rotary 5520.
Okay.
There's
There's Erin.
Yeah. Oh, but she can't come off mute, it looks like.
Is she driving?
Are you
Looks like-
actively driving? No. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the what we discussed today, Aaron, was really the location of policy and procedure appendices and youth documents like youth protection, also Rotary Youth Exchange, and at some point you're apparently building some RILA documentation that we'll have to put on 5520. So we were just talking about various locations for those, and I think we're just about to wrap up, right? I just wanted to restate the actions we agreed on, but this is all recorded, and I'll have a summary after we're done. But can I just go through, make sure I captured the correct actions, just make sure we're on the same page? Is that okay for everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I think we're doing. So Jeff, you're going to continue to consolidate those policy and procedure appendices like we talked about today. And
We're actually going to take Appendix 2 out and then set up that new tab. So
right.
if anything, the policies and procedures document is going to be shorter than the current version because Appendix 2 comes out.
Okay. And then we're setting up we're setting up a tab called Crisis Management and Youth Protection. Those are the words we're going to use. Is everybody okay with that? As a tab name?
Yes.
Youth
I-
protection and crisis management.
Okay.
I would, since you're changing it anyway, put / crisis management. If you could abbreviate any of it, it's going to really spread that out really bad on that top menu.
Are you okay with management like that, Dick?
Let me put my glasses back on. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I
So
think
this
that
will
would look better.
So
Yeah.
this will be the new tab name on Rotary at the top with all the other existing tabs. And then within that tab, we said there would be a web page, not a document, but a web page with all the emergency contacts.
Mm,
Correct, Dick?
Is
Mhm.
that because a web page is easier to update than a document?
Yes. Yes. That's why.
Well,
Um,
it's one less click, right? It's like right
And
there.
it's one less click. Yep.
and easier to locate in an emergency.
Yeah.
And then
I would
this,
do it as a site page, Jeff, and not a sub page.
Okay.
They're easier to read. I don't like those sub pages. They're all confusing.
We
Okay.
also need to update, because it may not be emergency contacts, but those media reps, correct?
Well, they need to be in there because the only time we're ever going to call them is in an emergency.
yeah, I
Okay,
feel like it
so
all
that
fits.
Okay, so we need to determine those, and then once we know who they are, then we'll add those.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the rest of that, like when you click on that tab, besides the contacts at the top, would we also have the policies linked in the rest of that tab, Dick?
I'm sorry, say that again.
So if we have, let me go to 5520 really quick. So we have these tabs at the top. So let's pretend the administration tab is our new tab.
Right.
So this first one I was picturing, but I want to make sure I'm not getting it wrong. This first one would be the emergency contacts page link. So you click this and it takes you to where all the contacts are.
Okay.
And then would we have these additional links for the policy, like youth protection,
Yeah. Yeah. We would
Crisis management.
crisis management
we
policy?
would put youth protection there and then crisis management below it. So there
Okay.
would be 3 tabs.
3 things here, 3 lines
Yeah.
under this tab. Okay. Okay.
Correct.
Does that make sense to you, Jeff?
No, but that's fine. I'm in
Okay.
a blur right now, so.
Okay.
If you send me a copy of it, I'll do it for you, Jeff.
I mean, it will make sense, just not right this second.
So like that, Dick,
Yeah.
when you click the drop down on the new, I just want to make sure it's really clear so we're not confused. Oops.
Yeah. That makes sense to me because then if
That's
you have to
gonna-
call someone, they're there. And if you need to, well, you're going to have some level of knowledge of what's in those things anyway. And you should, as a club president, at least know what's in each one of those tabs.
Right.
Yep.
Jen, we also need to develop the job description for the governor nominee.
Okay.
Although again, that may not have to be done right away. It's just that it's referred to in the document. So
Yeah, be sure and wait until you have one before you develop that. Do it.
No, I think do it the opposite. You develop it first and then you tell them. And
That's
then
what I meant.
oh, okay. And then the other thing is, in the consolidated document you opened, Jeff, there's an appendix that says the hyperlink says Youth Exchange Manual, but we said it doesn't really take you to the manual, it takes you to the website. So
Correct.
we're going to update the terms to be Youth Exchange website instead.
correct. Or maybe
Okay.
youth exchange material. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yep.
What do you want, Bianca? Let's be specific. You're on mute, by the way.
It is a website, so I don't, I'm not that technology advanced, so if there's a better word that would attract people, then that would be fine with me.
I think that's
Maybe
fine.
information,
Mm-hmm.
something
Okay.
like that.
That would be fine too. That would be fine.
Okay.
Link to our YE page. Okay.
And then the other separate project, Dick, is going through the what's at an MSU, right?
Right. The NMSU archives.
Okay. Did I
And
miss
for
anything?
We'll also take a look at, because for the district governor nominee nominating process, we had the forms, but the procedure, which was alluded to, we had as to be developed. So either it exists and we just link to it, or it legitimately is to be developed.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
So the second to the last appendix in the
Mhm.
policies procedures document refers to the governor nomination forms and process, basically.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And if I recall, at least right now, we can link to the forms, but the process was the process document was to be developed. Now, if it's part of the Yasser pages, we can just link to it, but there was something in there that had not been developed yet, as I understood it.
Right, because it says to be developed in your document.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So Erin is texting me and she actually has a lot to share. Erin, maybe try exiting the whole meeting and rejoining. Just try that real quick.
Jen, we talked about too, the clubs in the geographical area, the listing of the clubs, but I don't know that we decided anything.
Yeah, are we keeping that or not?
I think we are. I was misunderstanding what it really was.
Hmm.
If it's the picture of the map, we don't need it. If it's what we consider northeast, west, etc., we need it. It's not anywhere else.
Is somebody working on updating that map?
It updates itself.
Not the map I have. Is there a map? Okay. I have a nice printed map that I share with our youth exchange people, and it's very outdated.
We probably don't even have a copy of that anymore, Bianca.
Well, I had it and Yasser saw it at one of our youth exchange weekends and he took a picture of it. And so I kind of thought maybe he would work on something, but
Okay.
you know what? I think it was from 2011.
And is everybody still okay on time? So sorry I screwed up the start time, by the way. Everybody have a few more minutes?
Yeah, I've got a few more.
Okay. And actually, Otter, my note taker, captured a couple more actions. So we said we would update the youth protection policy document, make it a PDF, and Jeff, you're going to add a date in the footer.
Yep.
Okay. And then update the media well, we have to update all the contact information, but in particular, the media. So what's the plan there? Like, who's the right person, Dick, to ask Twyla to continue?
I can do that. I'll take responsibility for that
Okay.
and for identifying a media contact in El Paso.
Okay.
And when we identified, we went with El Paso and Albuquerque because in addition to being the two largest cities in the district, there are two media markets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important. We had a situation in Albuquerque a number of years ago, and by having a media correspondent in Albuquerque that could talk to the media, a situation that could have been very nasty, got a mention on the 5 o'clock news and was gone by 5:30.
That sounds
So
good.
that's the way you want them to be.
Yep. I wonder if Erin is able to. Let me see if I'll text her I'll text her the link instead of emailing it. 1 second.
So Danette, I just noticed in the last week or two that it seems like Club Runner is working pretty well. I don't know if
Yes.
they fixed everything that was in your ticket, but it seems to be doing okay.
No, they didn't fix anything. I rewrote the whole thing.
Oh, shit.
And in preparation for today's meeting, I went through every tab and clicked every button, and you did an excellent job on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
Hmm.
Um, So one thing Erin said in the text, she said, when I was writing this section, which will link to the Youth Exchange website, she said, if it's like Ryla, it's a web page, not a site. I thought those terms were interchangeable, but am I wrong about that?
I don't know. I thought,
I'm sorry, say that again, Jen.
She said, Jen, if it's like Ryla, it's a web page, not a website. And I think she was referring to this action where I wrote Youth Exchange website. And I thought the terms web page and website were interchangeable.
Well, a web page is exactly that, one page on a website. A website is the entirety of Rotary5520.org and everything that leads to it.
Okay.
so,
Well, I think-
so that youth exchange page site will have links to forms and documents and the application and all that. So what then is that called a website because it has,
It is a it will
Yes.
be a website. But probably if you ask Meredith real nice, maybe she would take that project on. I just did Ryla's. Look through Ryla and look and
Okay.
see what we did. And then because if you do it, Bianca, through using any other product, you're going to have to pay.
Okay, Aaron's
They
not able.
charge.
Aaron's not able to get in. So I think we can wrap up. Anything else?
Okay.
Bianca, I'm going to send you the 24-25 list of areas, and that'll just give you a good idea of what clubs are in what areas.
Okay.
do you know the map I'm talking about?
No, I don't know the map you're talking about, but I have a list of all the clubs and who their AG was last year and what area they're considered.
Oh, okay. All right.
That makes sense? Do you want that?
Sure, I'll look at it.
Okay.
I think I've seen the map that you're talking about, and it was pre-computer, and it was designed by hand. So, yeah.
Did it have like ocean with dinosaurs? Like here there be dragons.
The Earth was flat,
Yeah, I figured.
one continent.
That sounds amazing. All right. Well, thank you all so much for your time and Jeff
Thanks,
for your
everyone.
and for your
Thank you.
efforts as well.
Bye,
All right.
everybody.
Have a
Bye.
good afternoon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Jen, can you hang on a sec?
Uh-huh. Let me just turn off my note taker. Hold on one second.
Mute. There we go.
Stop.
So are you proficient in Excel?
Fairly
Okay.
proficient.
So I have recently come across this thing and it's more annoying than anything else, but I don't know how to fix it.
Okay.
So I have a spreadsheet. I'm there every day, all day long. And sometimes I go away from it for a second and then I go back to it and it has like all the page break lines. That's what they look like. But I am not going to print it. I'm not setting up page breaks. I'm not doing, but it has those faint lines all over the sheet.
Can you show me? Can you show me what you have?
Not on this computer, but I can email
Okay.
it when I get to the work on my work computer.
Okay. Let me open an
It's just
Excel book.
strange.
Let's see. So I'll just open a brand new book and share my screen.
It's like I said, it's not a huge deal, but it's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, so it probably has to do
So
with the view. Let me move this bar. It's driving me nuts. You can't see it, but it drives me nuts. Okay. Is it page break view maybe that what you're looking at? Or page layout?
no, there you go.
Like
So
that.
see those, yeah, those lines.
Okay.
They just show up randomly.
Hmm. So I think so I
I
actually
wonder if
don't
is there maybe a shortcut to do that and I'm just accidentally clicking some buttons that I haven't done in the last 6 years, 20 years?
to hide. Hold on one second. Because that's the first time I've ever made those appear, actually. So they don't
Okay,
generally appear for me,
right.
but let me see what I can find out. Go to File, go to Options, go to Excel Options. Nope, hold on. That's not right. Okay, go to File. No. File. Options, it said. There's no Excel options dialog box. You are lying to me, Google. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely that page break preview that's showing up.
Yeah.
And
Let's see.
I mean, there's no letters, yeah, no letters underlined there, so it's not like a, you know, Control Z F something or other, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So go back. So it should, when I went, it's telling me when I went back to normal. Yeah, workbook views. This should have gotten rid of them. It's telling me. And yet it has not.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I don't know. That's a mystery. Am I going to be stuck with these lines forever now? Probably.
I hope not. So then what I do, so then I close my sheet,
Yeah.
I reopen it, and the lines are gone.
Huh.
But tomorrow afternoon, the lines will show up again.
That is bizarre. Yeah, I don't have a lot of
Okay.
experience with that, but if I
Okay.
find anything else, I'll let you know.
Okay, well, don't spend a lot of time on it.
All right.
All right. Well,
Um,
sorry again, I was late.
No, you weren't late. Do not apologize. I screwed that
Yeah,
up.
but everybody else was there at 2, obviously.
Well, I sent the reminder and then I put the wrong time in the reminder. So,
Oh,
yeah.
and I didn't read the reminder. It was on my calendar, so.
Right, right. Why would you? Let's see. Hold on. Okay, wait. I might scroll down to display options, display. Show formula bar.
Might just give this to my dad. You're like, how many how you want this? Come on.
Show grid. Oh, this might be it. Let me try that. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
So I went to file. Let's see if this works first, but I went to file and then I went down to options and this popped up. And then under advanced, I'm down to display options for this worksheet. And then it says unclick show page breaks. Oh, right here. Unclick show page breaks.
Okay.
That's a little bit.
Click- Oh, well, that's because I did 2. Hold on. I know
Oh,
what
the grid lines is different, right?
No, I did. Yeah, I did 2 things at the same time, and I shouldn't have. So let me
Okay.
do that again. So options, go to advanced, scroll down to display options for this worksheet. Make sure show page breaks is unchecked, and you want grid lines to be checked.
Right.
I accidentally unchecked it. So this is yay.
So there it is. It's gone. Okay.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I will send you these instructions.
I got it. I wrote it down.
Okay. But they shouldn't be
I-
like appearing and disappearing. That's weird.
They shouldn't just randomly appear.
No.
What I
Mm-mm.
said on because I don't even go into that.
Yeah. Well, and it shouldn't have happened when I clicked through the views either. Like normal
Right.
should be like that shouldn't have
Right.
happened. So it's bizarre, but that's how you get rid of them.
Okay, I'll try it.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Have a
right.
good day.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.